Yes, we are back again in Train Sim World 6, back again on the East Coastway, and this time to do some full line runs in the remastered version of the East Coastway, where we're going to start out with some trips in the 171, then go to a 375. Rather oddly, before ending up in the 377/3. So the two new trains that are coming out as DLC, we'll be trying those out, plus having a look at the remastered version of East Coastway, which is free. If you've got the existing East Coastway, you will get the remastering as part of your just normal upgrades. The 171 and 377/3 are paid DLCs. There'll be links in the doobly-doo below to where you can get things. There'll be a link down there to a Twitch page where you can watch live on Twitch, where I'm doing all sorts of things, and a link down there to the Discord server as well. That's for those of you watching on the YouTubes. For those live, good evening to Trenty, to Nico, to Sim, to Daz, to Nigel. How goes the most professional train driver, Stevie? All is good in the hood. So yes. Yesterday we did, or last week if you're on YouTube, we did London to Brighton. This time we're going to start in Brighton and do some fault line runs on the East Coastway. So multiple timetables we've got now. We're going to do the 377/3 timetable, so I just realised that's also got the 171 in. So we're going to start with the 171 and take that to Eastbourne. There's something then in the 375 which we'll look at that brings us back to Lewes. Then we'll see if we can get back to Brighton and then do the 377/3 and then maybe see if we get time to end up in the 395. So all sorts of weird stuff going on East Coastway. Hi Rich T. But we'll start with this one first, and we will take it from Brighton to Ashford. Well, Brighton to Eastbourne, it goes to Ashford at 13:30, which is 1:30. Hi Dorset. That is an elephant. We don't know if it's called Nelly. It could be. Yeah, that's because there's no artwork for it. It does exist as a Class 47. Right. Okay, reverser into forward. We will open the window. The window is doing the opening. We will put on the lights. If I remember where the lights are, up here. Headlights, day. We'll unlock the doors. So yes, there is a Thameslink train. Someone mentioned this in the video that I put out today for those watching live. There is Thameslink. 'Twas you, and yeah, is that a 700 then, or is that just a? Yeah, that's a 700. Considering I've only just installed the mod, so we got Gatwick Express in there. So 387 over there, 377/4, and 377/3. So that's what we're going to be in later on, the -3 variant. Yeah, all the way over here then we have, what have we got over here? I reckon it's a train. Another 377/3, but we are down here in the 171. I haven't heard anything. No one said it shouldn't be there, but it's there. So we're going to Lewes, Polegate, and Eastbourne. So only a couple of stops in this. And said, I just spotted that there's a scenario which goes from Eastbourne back to Lewes in a 375. So we've got to give that a go. And then we'll do 377. So I want to try and get back to Brighton if I can. It may mean I have to go back to the menu, but I will get back to Brighton. Okay, Connor. Right, let's lock the doors. You've made it to the nervous 90s. Hope you don't fumble the century. Indeed not. That's some buzzing. Hi, Michael. Have we got a buzz? That's train stop. Is there a buzz? Have we got a buzz? Right, we now can't hear the announcements. Left hand side. It's too late now, we're going. Right, let's get going. Okay, then go for it, Connor. If I want that sort of money, my first priority would be buy a house. The announcements are better on the 377. If I would have shut the windows, we'd have heard the announcements more. There we go. Right, let's get going. No, I had an uninterrupted lunch today. Right, I do like a bit of diesel action. Let's get going then with this. So yes, there have been lighting improvements, signal improvements. The Lovers Lane depot is now in as part of the free remastering of East Coastway. Remember, what do I do at red lights? Accelerate. Lovers Lane, Lovers Walk. There's Lovers in there somewhere. Yeah, it's close. You can walk to Lovers Lane. Has there been driver improvements? You can't improve on perfection. It's just impossible. See, there's a picture of me posted in the Discord server today outside Swindon Station. You can't improve on that. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. Alright, let's get going. Oh, we can. Oh, you can't. Yeah, again, I think this is one of those routes, a bit like the Great Western Express remastering. Although there isn't much significantly, the fact that, again, I know it comes down to layering, and a lot of these experiences within Train Sim World will come down to layering. The more of your routes you got installed, the more things you'll have to do on these routes. I spent a couple of minutes flicking around them just before the stream and realizing there's an IET, there's a 375, there's other stuff that you can do on this. Okay, maybe you'll only do it once, but it just adds that bit of variety into the route. And it gives you a reason to maybe come back to a route that you hadn't been on for a while. And the fact that the remastering itself is free, we like free. Free is good. Free is the magic number. So yes, this is out tomorrow. If you're on Steam, you should get the remastering update in the morning. The DLCs, if you're purchasing them, for the 171 and the 373/3, will be tomorrow. It's always been one of those routes for me, Sim, that it just seems a bit, I don't know, lacking. Whereas I think having this variety of stuff to control just gives it that new lease of life. Life is the name of the game. Hi, Amy Lou. So yeah, so you got station announcements. The 171 and 377 do get on-train announcements as well. I really hope now that they start working their way back through some of the old routes and giving them this little freshen up. This will be rather nice. yes, there's a previously, well, a closed station's been added that wasn't there before. Just to bring it up to, well, 2018, this timetable's set to. So to bring it to 2018, obviously the 313s are still running around then. Please pass the red light tonight. Look, I'm professional and all that. You would never get me passing a red light. It's never happened on a stream. It's never happened in a YouTube video. I don't know where you've all got this fixation about me passing red lights. It's not true. It doesn't happen. I'm just too good. Yeah, I am. I can't help being this good at everything. I keep trying to tell you like this. You don't listen. Careful when we go to Amsterdam. We've been to Amsterdam. We walked through the red light district. It was 9 AM on a Sunday morning. I won't be going back to Amsterdam. I've seen Amsterdam. You've had complaints from the neighbours about you showing red. They've had 3 weeks of peace from you, you know. But yeah, even having this diesel makes a difference to this route. And it is nice just being a little two-car. I think red is your safe word. That's an odd safe word. I really must come down here this year. That might be a thing. Might be one Saturday trip. Come down to Brighton and do this route, or weekend down here. Hi, McBone. Right, so we're 2 miles from Lewis, or Lewis. Wasn't that the one after the one? With the bloke in the Oxfords. Was that Lewis? I chatted to the London weekend. Ooh. Now there's some thinking. Yeah, Morse. Wasn't Lewis the one after Morse? John Lewis. Station Lewis, first name John. You didn't see Debbie McGee carrying on, calling herself, you know, well, Debbie McGee. Uh-oh. Lewis was his partner in quotation marks. I never watched Morse. My sister used to like Morse. I never really watched it. We are good at British detective shows, though, aren't we? Bit late now to go back and watch it, I think. I like Frost. Frost was good. Right, we should get an announcement soon. Very quiet announcement. I think it's even quiet in the train. Yeah, as long as you're one of these people that puts like warm water on their car windscreen. Overspeed, 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 overspeed. I've never understood the people that use de-icer as well. That makes more of a mess than anything else. Just get the scraper out. Right, we arrived at Louisa. I hope. Oops, hang on. Bexhill. My uncle used to live in Bexhill. There you go. I'll close the window so you can hear the announcements. Wait until a Ziploc bag and fill with warm water. By the time you muck about doing that, okay, I've got a Ford which has got a quick clear windscreen. But even if that in a month or so's time isn't a Ford anymore, you just go out, you put the heater on and you scrape the side windows, you scrape the front window if need be, and you're gone in about a minute. The next station is Colgate. Station after that is McLean's. The next station's Colgate. It's a very, very minty smell when you get off the train. Right, Polgate is next. And which should we do? Where's the buzz? Engines? No, don't do that. Hang on. There you go. A bit late now. We've moved.
Welcome aboard the Southern service to Ashford International, calling at Polgate, Eastbourne, Pevensey and Weston, Pevensey Bay, Norman's Bay, Cooten Beach, Collington, Bexhill, St Leonard's Warrior Square, Hastings, Orr, Three Oaks, Dolan, Winchelsea, Rye, Appledore, Cam Street, and Ashford International.
That's
the next station is Polgate.
That's a lot of stations. Yeah, or is it or if you're going? We're stopping here, or is it because I'm driving? We're stopping here or there. So it'll either be one or the other. It won't necessarily be both. Well, it depends on how fast he's going as to whether we'll stop. Or we won't. We might not. There's no guarantee the train will stop at the station where you want to get off. That's definitely high, McBone. So yes, if you just joined, where have you been? I'm on the remastered version of the East Coastway, which releases tomorrow. If you've got East Coastway, you'll get it as a free upgrade. It adds station announcements, it adds some improved visuals, the Lovers Walk depots in there, some more stuff behind Brighton Station, which we'll look at when we get back there. The train I'm driving is the 171, which is part of the DLC that's also releasing tomorrow with the 171 and the 377/3. We will be in the 377/3 later on. Right, so we're 10 miles from Polgate. And then it's Eastbourne. And then I think there's a service in a 375, rather oddly, that leaves Eastbourne and gets back to Lewes. And then we'll see if we can grab something from Lewes back to Brighton. So we'll see if we can drive a variety of rolling stock this evening. Do we see the ring of confidence at Colgate? Your breath will stay fresh for up to 12 hours. Every time you visit Colgate Station. Trying to fix a dishwasher. It's being posh having a dishwasher. I think if I had a dishwasher, I wouldn't use it. How long does it take to do the washing up? Like 30 seconds. No. You use Fairy, so do I. But yeah, it's a nice line down here. So it has always looked a bit, I'll say lacking, but it's just always a bit like Great Western Express was. it just felt very empty. I think now adding these layering levels to it, it gives it a bit of life. It's life, Jim, but not as we know it. So we're not a stopping service, not a full stopping service. And you can tell that by the way that we're not supposed to be stopping at these stations. Even if we were supposed to stop at these stations, there's no guarantee that I would actually stop at these stations. I've got room in my kitchen for a dishwasher, but I'd have to change the sink unit and put one of those little narrow ones in, and that's way down my list of priorities. Everything else is above that. I was chatting to someone at work, just bought a new house, and he's got Artex on the ceiling, and he said there's wood chip in one of the bedrooms. I said, "Whoa, hang on." I said, "There's nothing wrong with wood chip wallpaper." He looked at me. I said, "That's what's in my spare room." And I said, "You think Artex is a problem? I've got polystyrene ceiling tiles on my living room ceiling." I said, they were fashionable in the 80s. I'm waiting for them to come back into fashion. They got removed from the kitchen, and that was a ball ache. This thing doesn't seem to go any faster than 70. What is its top speed? 100. I am flat out. Oh no, we're doing 71 now. So not the most rapid of trains. We haven't really seen much come the other way either, have we? So it definitely isn't a busy line. Whether we might see a bit more activity around Eastbourne. Could you imagine Eastbourne? You know, certain stations, like they have to get the wheelchair ramps out and stuff. Could you imagine it? They must have multiple wheelchair ramps at Eastbourne. Oh, we got 64 wheelchairs boarding today. Oh, great. I thought Brighton was God's retirement home. No, it's Eastbourne. And no, I don't live in Eastbourne. The colourful commodes, yeah. See, when did they suddenly appear? What point was it where everyone went, no, I refuse to walk anymore. I'm going to get myself one of those electric scooter things. Now everyone's got one. So although there is third rail available here, it isn't all the way. I think it isn't beyond. I think someone did post. I think it's Dorset posted. I think it's beyond. Isn't beyond Eastbourne maybe. The third rail. So which is why this thing, because it's going all the way to Ashford, it has to be diesel. Oh god, we got snow again. Why is it still? Okay, it's my fault for leaving the month of February. Oh, that's an 80. I didn't see that. Oh, back to a 90. Yeah, wait, I think we definitely got the snow type stuff incoming. Incoming! Yeah, well, give it another month, I think, because it's set as the date that I'm doing this, which is what, 25th of Feb. So I suppose, yeah, there is a chance of getting snow. Only 10 disabled car spaces at Eastbourne. I bet they're always full. Yeah, Tesco's got more than that. Right, 2 miles to go to Polegate. We should hear the announcements now. Well, not now, because it's got 2 miles to go. When we get closer to Polegate, we'll get the announcement. So this has got announcements. The 377's got announcements. Say the remastering gives you station announcements. I get frustrated on a Saturday morning when you see builders' vans parked in the parent and child spaces right outside the door. You're like, yeah, you haven't bought your child, have you? I'd love to be a Tesco employee and enforce the parking. See someone pull up at a parent-child space without a child. Go, excuse me, can you move? You haven't got a child in your car. Bring your child to work day. It's definitely starting to look a bit grey out there. Right, we'll shortly be arriving at Colgate.
We are now approaching Colgate.
Uh-oh. That's slipping is happening. Oh, thankfully it's a long station. Oh, actually, you know what? That weren't bad. You use a disabled badge. And forget, you can only use that if the person that is on the badge is in the vehicle with you. You can't just take it and nip to the shops. Wait until 13:57 and 0 seconds.
Ashford International. The next station is Eastbourne.
Wiper speed selector. Wiper selector. Oh god, both. Intermittent. We'll go intermittent. I'm not doing anything. Oh, I said it's time for a baldy check. Okay. Is there a baldy? You're not bald. You've got a ponytail. You're an idiot. You've got ponytail as well. You're an... That was track IR. You're a baldy. Hello, baldy. You got your baseball cap's on backwards. It's on backwards. It's backwards. I don't think they realise it's backwards. Okay. Oh, that's definitely getting snowy out there. So yeah, Eastbourne's next. Then we're going to do a trip from Eastbourne back to Lewes in the 375, I think it is. And then we'll try and get from Lewes back to Brighton before we then do a 377. Actually, a 377 might be back to Brighton. And then we'll do something else. What was my dinner? Pizza. Would I wear the baldy clothes? I wore a sort of thick type jacket. Not quite. I wouldn't wear a padded jacket because I'm not a chav. I think people that wear padded jackets are just idiots. My opinion. Right, Eastbourne is next.
Welcome aboard the Southern Service to Ashford International, calling at Eastbourne, Pevensey and Weston, Pevensey Bay, Normans Bay, Cooten Beach, Collington, Bexhill, St Leonard's Warrior Square, Hastings, or Three Oaks, Dolan,
Hastings or Three Oaks.
Rye, Appledore, Cam Street, and The
Yeah.
next station is Eastbourne.
So if this route went that far, we'd be stopping at Hastings or Three Oaks. It wouldn't be both. I said I've been to Hastings the other summer. I would like to go back. It's rather nice. A little tiny steam railway thing on the seafront as well. I buzzed 3 times. Yeah, I'm driving. It's an emergency. Do people live in Three Oaks think Seven Oaks is boasting? It's one of those status things, isn't it? Yeah, I currently live in Three Oaks. Can't afford Seven Oaks. Yeah, but didn't some of the Seven Oaks get knocked down in the storms? So there's no longer Seven Oaks in Seven Oaks. Isn't it the same with Seven Sisters in London? Wasn't that called because of 7 trees or something? There was yes, there was a foot warmer button. Foot warmer. There you go. I'll put my foot warmer on. Shame there's not one a bit higher up, but okay. Right, so make our way to Eastbourne. Then we go back to the menu. I'll look at the scenarios that there are for this as well, and I'll show you some of the layering as well. What? Hand warmer. I thought about if there's one higher up, like you could blow warm air on your hands. Because it's all left-hand operation anyway. This, you got what are you doing with your right hand? On your little knob. There you go. We've not really seen many trains come the other way, but say this is quite a quiet line. Hi, Colin. A little what? A little knob. The laughing gnome. Ha ha ha. He he he. I'm the laughing gnome and you can't catch me. That's a blast in the past. Seven Oaks in Kent is named after 7 oak trees that stood near a small chapel in Knoll Park around 800 AD. Ed was there, he planted them. Derived from the Saxon word senuca, the town's name has historical roots in these trees, which were later replaced after being destroyed in the Great Storm of 1987. I remember that storm. Hang on, was that 87? I thought it was 1990 was the storm. I worked at National Power and the atrium roof got blown in because of the severe winds. Anyway, the same thing. The same thing. I'm guessing. The Michael Fish storm. Yes. Don't worry, there's no gale force winds. Yeah. How wrong was he? Very. Tomorrow night, by the way, not trains, boats. Going to be doing some, what's it called? Hang on. Ships at sea. Tomorrow night. So bobbing about in boats delivering things. Friday night, we've got some trucking and tunes where you choose the music. Songs or artists starting with the letter N for November. It was 1987. Can't be. This is just a windy day in 2000. Anyway, trucking and tunes on Friday night. Saturday night, something. I don't know what yet, but there'll be something Saturday night. I'm going to run a red. And then Sunday lunchtime, we're back on the farm doing the farming type thing. I've got another Park Ranger game to test as well. I'm going to record a video on it this weekend. What's it called now? Ranger's Path, National Park Sim. Hopefully it's better than the last one. Red. I know it's a red. creep towards it. Red light spells danger. Whispers quietly. Steve, 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 is it red? Steve, Steve, is it red? Steve, Steve. I'm guessing we're waiting for something to come from another direction. We're on time as well. Oh God, that's... The Burnsday storm, also known as Cyclone Daria, was an extremely violent storm. Yeah, that's what I remember, 1990. Yeah, because I was only there for a month, and I remember being there on my birthday. Perhaps all those police in Leiden today, yes, we were discussing that at work, was looking for the phantom red shelter. Right, let's go. We are now approaching Eastbourne. 1990 makes you about 40. I'll live with that. Right, so into Eastbourne. Then what we'll do is go back to the menu. I'll show you some of the layering and stuff that there is with this. And then we'll do, we'll get back to Brighton from Eastbourne. And then see if we can then come back to Seaford. You're 36 this year. Yeah, no, I was chatting to someone today at work who's got an MG5, something like that. And was talking to me about the MGs. And I looked online, you can get an MG3 top of the range hybrid for stupid money. They are so cheap. Yes, it's not going to be worth a lot in 5 years' time, but my God, that's cheap motoring. Thameslink in Eastbourne. Was that Thameslink? What's that doing down at Depot? Maybe? Would they bring them all the way? They wouldn't bring them down here for Depot. Well, there are Thameslink on here. Considering I didn't have Thameslink stuff installed. Right. We have arrived at Eastbourne. Hang on, so this has got a... So this has to reverse out again then. So it must have to come back out. Where does it split then to go off to Hastings? Oh, so it must have to come back out from Eastbourne and go off to Hastings. There is a video coming in that, by the way, the Arrow 3, couple of weeks' time. I've done a trip in the Arrow 3. I need to go back and do some more 4-line runs on the American stuff. It's so good. 1066 from Hastings. Aha. Right. Also had a thought today. I know not many people are interested in coming to our day in London, but I fancy doing a day back across to the Isle of Wight, doing the hovercraft from Portsmouth, and doing buses and the Isle of Wight train thing, if anyone's interested. Right, anyway, so East Coastway. Scenarios, we've got 10 of them. Some of which go back to the original one. So 377/4s, the 66, 377/4, the 171, There's some scenarios there. More 171 stuff. And 313s. Yeah, we did it the other year. We did the hovercraft across, then got on the train, did a bit of bus action. Really enjoyable day. And you can do it there and back in the day quite easily to the Isle of Wight. Hovercraft's good experience as well. Right. So, we've made it to Eastbourne. What there is a southeastern high speed. So this involves having layering, so having other routes installed. So due to a landslip near High Brooms, Southeastern diverting empty coaching stock via East Coastway, drive from Eastbourne to Lewes. So we'll take this 375 now back to Lewes. And then we'll see if we can get something from Lewes back to Brighton. So we'll have a look and see what is around that's running from that. Then we'll do the 377 out of Brighton to Seaford. Right. So put this into forward. See, and again, this is the reasoning. I know I keep banging on about it. The reasoning for having as many routes as you can, as routes as you've got installed, because it means you get things like this that you can do. Yes, it's only 2 services, but it makes it interesting. And yeah, there is a Thameslink 700 next to us. How bizarre. Right. So we got to take this then to Lewes. I am quite lengthy, as lengthy things go. 700's running as well. See, these are the sort of things that make these routes more interesting to me. So yeah, I'm thinking May for the Isle of Wight. Just be a Saturday in May. Maybe one of the bank holiday weekends might be quite a useful one. So the last Saturday, maybe. Or that'll be expensive. Maybe one of the middle ones. Right, so we'll make our way back to Lewes. So yeah, this southeastern, would that be down? It wouldn't even be down here, would it? It's like this is well off of its track. That's loud. Yeah, the bank holiday weekend will be expensive. So maybe one of the middle weekends of May. Actually, it'd be good for me. Dad's, when's the 13th? No. When's the 9th of May? That's my dad's birthday. Or we just take them down to Southsea on his birthday. So I probably want to go to New Forest on that Saturday. So that might be a good one. It's the weekend after that, maybe. 9th of May is the second weekend of May. Saturday. Oh, it's a Saturday this year. Oh, awesome. So it would have been my dad's 99th birthday. So yeah, so either that Saturday or the one after then. We got London on the 18th of July. Right, so yeah, we're just taking this as far as Lewes. And then we'll see what we've got going from Lewes back to Brighton. Have I missed much professionalism? Everything's professionalism. We're approaching the split to Hastings. Ah, okay. So they sod off down there. That's a long way to backtrack, isn't it? I suppose it's not in the grand scheme of things. Right, so yeah, we get from Lewes back to Brighton in something. We'll see if there's anything else obscure that gets us back to Brighton. Then we'd take a 377 /3, which goes to Seaford. So we'll do that, which means we'll get on-train announcements and things. But yeah, I'm liking this already. We've got 35, so lots of braking. We've actually got passengers on board. No, I think it's empty, aren't we? Thankfully, Tiger wasn't here when we were mentioning the meetup, so he won't know about it, which means he can't go. So that's a good thing. Oh, damn it. Right, 35 limit round here. You can see why. It's quite a tight corner. I think you just straighten it out a bit, wouldn't you? Knock down those houses, put a straight line through. Done. Do they have a signal at Colt? Really? Really? Your dad was born in the little common area at Bexhill. My uncle lived in Bexhill. Moved from London down to Bexhill. One moved to Minehead. One moved to Bexhill. Like, couldn't get further apart. Both were bachelors all their lives. Exactly, you should visit Colgate twice a day. Yeah, it's not a busy route. It's obviously busier around Brighton, but it's not a busy route anyway, is it? You're not going to see, a constant flow of trains going up and down. But it's certainly having these other timetable runs to do with layering. Certainly made it more interesting for me. It's always been one that I've done, just do it after Brighton because it connects. Another 171. Right, 75 limit. Bing. I imagine on a nice summer's evening, it's really pleasant coming across here. Maybe not so pleasant on a cold, frosty January morning, although that can be quite nice as well. if the heating's on in the train. Yes, I know doing this run isn't showing off the DLCs. It is showing the remastering. I think the biggest thing for me in the remastering is the layers. It's the extra routes that you never had before. Or extra services, should I say. And I did. I said it just then. Me saying it's not busy, look. I suppose we've gone past that split. We'll get stuff that's going to Eastbourne. Is this also the same bit of track? I should know this, shouldn't I, being the professional streamer? That also goes to Seaford, or does that split somewhere else? This is the information I should be armed with, you know, doing my research as I do for all the streams. Yeah, maybe not. That splits this side of Lewis. Okay. Also making sure you're still paying attention. Still no news on Thomas. Attention, what's attention? Attention. Don't pay the ferryman. Warning, Will Robinson. No, danger, Will Robinson. Yeah, 27. Okay, not 27. But the only fruit I can tolerate is a banana. Other fruit are quite boring. I find bananas quite boring, but it's like that series on. That was Lost in Space, wasn't it? Oh, the banana splits. I was thinking of Lost in Space. What about the Hair Bear Bunch? Is that a Hair Bear Bunch? Anyway, before we get down an 80s rabbit hole of TV shows, did you know bananas wore pajamas and they were coming down the stairs? Be careful of that. I'm not of that generation with the bananas in their pajamas. Why have they got pajamas? I suppose they have to have pajamas on. Why don't they just sleep in their skins? It's like, why did Daffy Duck put a towel around him when he got out of the shower? Well, you know what I mean. Bananas have got got a warm layer. Well, I suppose, does that mean that when the bananas aren't wearing their pajamas, they're naked? You couldn't fit a didgeridoo in your jeans. Well, what about a didgeridoo? Right, here's our go via. Why does Winnie the Pooh wear a t-shirt? Exactly. Can you tell what it is yet? Right, there's a red. There is a red. There's a red. In 1.5 miles, there is a red. Did I see something gone somewhere the other day with Matey Boy Buchanan making a return to something? Art Attack guy. Is he going back on the TV or something? Everyone likes Art Attack. He did a Muller advert. Oh, was that what it was? Oh, okay. Oh, no, it appeared in bloody YouTube. Exactly. Winnie the Pooh wears t-shirt. It doesn't get sticky fur. No, 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 no. Just no. No, I'm not going there. It's you. You're going there. I'm not. It's you. You're the ones with the dirty mind, not me. No one's got this far on YouTube. Who are we kidding? Right, there is a red. It's now no longer a red. It's a green. In a southeastern long 375. Oh, okay. So this is where we go down to Seaford. Okay, so we'll do that. When we get back to Brighton, we'll then do a Seaford service. But you still got to get from Lewes back to Brighton. Definitely need to do more scenarios. I was thinking about that at work today. I'd had a quiet period, thankfully, at work this afternoon. There was, at multiple points today, there were two of us in the office. An office that's normally got like 30 people in it. There were two of us. It was actually really peaceful. So I was thinking about scenarios. Freighty train. Right, we've got a 40 limit. And half a mile to go. You just like the 10 limit. Well, I get the sort of reasoning for it. Derailments, wasn't it? Was the reasoning? Just sort the tracks out. It's quite simple, isn't it? There's a lot of track going on here. Just knock the station down and rebuild it. Actually, it's quite a nice station. There are triangular platforms going on. Wow, we're going a long way around here because we're a long train. Yeah, so this is obviously going off to somewhere. Yeah, it was a good little scenario. We like that. Right, what we'll do is I'll go back to the main menu again and show you some of the layering then and some of the timetables that you get with the 171, the 377/3, and the layering that is part of the free remastering, which is out tomorrow. So if you've already got the East Coastway, you'll get the remastering upgrade or update tomorrow. So yes, so we got the 375 in there from Southeastern High Speed. So if you've got that installed, you'll get that. The 171's part of the DLC. 377/3 is part of the original. Those part of the DLC. You got the 47 doing some New Haven Marine to Lewis, or Brighton to New Haven Marine on driver training. Oh god, I'm not going to do that then. We got the stupid Class 20 going from Eastbourne, the Buffer Puffer Rail Tour. Okay. The Class 31. So the driver training thing, same as the 47. The 33, turn that down. Which is going to be New Haven to Brighton. The 377/2 from West Coast Mainline South. That's just some empty stock moves. I don't know. Seaford drives empty coaches stock to Seaford. Eastbourne to Lewis. Brighton to Eastbourne. So there is a couple of timetable runs in there as well, actually. Seaford to Brighton, Eastbourne to Lewis. So that's the one. That's 377/2. The falls will be. We finished at the London platform through to Haywards Heath. Ah, okay. So there's some runs in that as well. Brighton to Eastbourne. Is there a Lewis? We've got to find something to go in from Lewis. So that's Lover's Walk stuff. So that's quite interesting. Farmer to Brighton. The 395, which I want to try and do, is Brighton to Eastbourne. So we'll see if we can finish on that. We've got to get back to Brighton. The 700's in here, look. Lewis to Brighton. Oh, here you go. Perfect. Lewis to Brighton. Right. So that gets us... We'll do that then. In a 700 then. Back from Lewis to Brighton. We'll change the time so it gets light. Right. This takes us back to Brighton then. And then we'll do a 377/3. I've obviously got the 700 DLC installed. That's why this is in here as part of the layering. So that's what it is. I like the 700s. Right, exterior lights. Day. Have we got windows? We have got windows. So we're taking this then from... Where the hell's Lewis then? Oh, we're out just outside. So it's just where we just came in. Okay. Set power supply switch to on to engage the third rail shoes. Oh, God. Power supplies on. Okay. There we go. So we'll take this back to Brighton. Well, definitely a variety of stuff we're driving tonight. Then we'll do the 377 to Seaford. And then we probably won't get time to get back to Brighton. Maybe we'll have to come back and do that. Javelin, or I'll do that as a YouTube video. Yeah, you do have such a big window. I like the noise as well. I like traction motor noise. Is a new station. They have added a new station. It does say in the blurb what they've added. Hang on, can I scroll? Bear with me. Open Lovers Walk, updated depot, updated the yard area, added disused New Haven Marine Station. No, New Haven Marine Station has been added. More of you to spot the red lights, yeah.
TPWS and AWS operational.
Okay, that's going to go well. So yeah, who would have thought Thameslink train? This might have to be the thumbnail. Not that anybody pays attention to my thumbnails, but you know, it's different. There you go. It's only 10 miles an hour for a long way out of Seaford. I know we're an 8-car train. Oh, we go. Right. All right, let's get going then. So would this have come down here to the depot? Obviously, they do run Brighton to Bedford. Longer than I thought it was. Indeedly do. It's an 8. I'm not used to an 8. Ah, wouldn't you like to know? Bing. Yeah, doing that scenario last night, which I really enjoyed, has definitely made me want to do more scenarios. I've always just done the timetable routes, timetable runs, because it gives a chance to just do a 4-line run. Introduction said it was a diversion due to mainline closure. Ah, well, there you go. See, Dorset was paying attention. I wasn't. Obviously. 10 points to Dorset. I'm just on my pills. I'm still taking Lemsip 2 weeks on. One day this damn cold will go. Right, so we go back to Brighton. We'll then do the 377/3 service, which takes us to Seaford. Sell my cold on eBay. No, I was on eBay earlier. It's a dangerous place, is eBay. Strain. Yeah, I've added in the mod now that adds the 700 services onto the Brighton main line. It's definitely worth, if you've got this on PC, it's definitely worth looking at the Train Sim community website. There are lots of reskins and timetables and even changes to the ini file if you've got a powerful enough PC that changes the graphics. Lots of things on there. It's definitely worth looking at. All right, there is a red. What about the Audi files? Those are there as well. I still think how awesome this would be in multiplayer. Can you imagine it? I would. That's all I would do, I think. Can you imagine even just having one line and having a proper multiplayer session of just people going up and down, passing each other? I think that'd be amazing. it can't be without the realms of possibility to do. If you can do it in ETS2, surely you can do it in Train Sim. Nearest you know is SimRail. Yeah. We'd all be stopped behind you because you're late. I just think how interesting it would be, though. To, you know, I have to pick timetable services so that, you know, someone would be the next service out of where I've just come from. Or someone would be waiting in Brighton, so I can't get into the station at Brighton until, you know, Tiger's left. I just think it'd be brilliant. Yeah, and if you pass the red, it would just kick you off in the same way as it would do normally. So you couldn't be crashing into each other on purpose. Chance to be a fine thing. Yeah, I think. Could you imagine how brilliant it would be just to go, right, we're doing a multiplayer tonight. It's going to be on London to Brighton. You know, even if you've only got like 10 people, but to all be able to pick a service, you're passing someone going up and down. I think it'd be brilliant. So you just, you know, other people would take the place of the AI trains. So instead of AI train being the next service, it'd be someone else. I really enjoy the multiplayer stuff we do. I really, really do. Right, another red. Making our way back to Brighton. In a Thameslink 700. I'm sure when we came back from Brighton, we were on a Thameslink train. He must have changed at Clapham or on all the way to London Bridge or something. Because you can get tickets that will allow you only to go on Thameslink, or other tickets you can go on anything. Because when we were doing the going to go to Fuerteventura for 24 hours, we were going to get I was going to drive to Luton, leave the car there, get the train to Gatwick, fly out from Gatwick, fly back to Luton, and that was Thameslink only. Alright, that's gone yellow. So 1.8 miles then into Brighton. So I always thought that guard mode in this would have lent itself to multiplayer. So even a two-person multiplayer, one being the guard, one being the train driver, I think even that would have been quite amusing. Another red down here. The train coming towards us as well. It does happen. Yeah, sort of our bus sim does it. Or even, you know, something like we've got for OMSI, where you know you don't necessarily see people in the multiplayer aspect, but you've got a virtual train company. So by someone driving a route, you're earning revenue from the train company, which allows you to buy more trains, or then you've got to service the trains, and allows you, you know, eventually earn money, allow you to buy more routes. I think we're stuck behind a stopping service, I think. So we're up because there's the green, the other side of this station. So I think we're having to wait for the train in front to clear the platform for us to then leave and go into Brighton. I'll have a drink. Oh, I was about to have a drink. I'll yank back my thing and then I'll have a drink. There we go. There we are. So we'll go back to the menu, grab a 377/3 service down to Seaford. So we get to do a run in that as well. That's got onboard announcements. Make our way round into Brighton, which should be busier. Which it certainly felt it when we left. So also we've got everything running in there now. We've still got the 313s running. We've got 171s, 377s, 385s, Thameslink stuff going in and out. The only thing I need to return to some of the routes that we do regularly, even things like West Coast Mainline South, and just do some scenarios on some streams. Thameslink going out over there. All right, platform 6. Okay, 20 limit. And in we come. How's the remastering? I'm liking the remastering. I'm liking well, I've done a trip in the 171 so far. Just going to do a trip in the 377/3. Currently, we're bringing a Thameslink 700 in, a part of the layering. I need to do a long stream one day. I think I'm going to have to do that. Let's do a long train sim world stream. Sometimes 2.5 hours is enough. But I think 2.5 hours sometimes it'd be nice to do some scenarios and stuff. The last stream. There we go. Unlock doors.
Thameslink, service to Bedford, Hawlinghouse, Wigglesfield, Haywards Heath, Gatwick Airport, East Croydon, London Bridge, Blackfriars.
Yes, that's certainly busier though. We've got 171 over there. Got loads of trains in. So as before, you'd come here, and this was a really quiet station. There wasn't a lot in at all. There's definitely more going on now, which is cool. Right, once this finishes, we'll go back to the main menu, and we'll grab a 377. Okay, so we'll go back to the timetable. Obviously, still got more new stuff coming over the next couple of months as well. So there's still more routes to come in, well, March, I think. You should see something else. Still no news on Thomas and when that releases. Right, so we will now go 377/3. There. 377/3, which is a DLC coming out tomorrow. And we'll do Brighton to Seaford. We'll do an early morning one. Actually, no, we'll do a later one because it might be a bit busier then. Brighton to Seaford, there we go, 8:08. And then see if we can do something on to get to Seaford. That is an elephant, in case you didn't know. Right, so this is the DLC that comes out tomorrow. So start right over in the corner in Brighton now. Also used to be another platform there on the outside as well. Wait until 8:10. Hi, Randy Panda. Okay, so we will go on a baldy hunt. There doesn't appear to be any passengers. We seem to be passengerless. No, there are no Anybody want to go to Seaford? Anyone? Anyone for Seaford? Seaford, anybody? I got the memo that I was driving. Fine. Be like that then. Well, I'm going to worry about passenger satisfaction, have I? There's no passengers. How can they be unsatisfied? Dissatisfied? Not happy. Other dwarfs are available. Right, lock doors.
Welcome aboard the Southern Service to Seaford, calling at London Road, Marston, Falmouth, Lewis, New Haven Town, New Haven Harbour, Bishopston, and Seaford. The next station is London Road.
I don't know who you're not talking to anybody. There's no one on the train apart from me. And I know where... Well, I don't know where I'm going. I should know where I'm going. There are no passengers. That must happen from time to time. There must be services where there's literally no one on the train. Just imagine some really early morning services. or late night services where they, you know, obviously they've got to do the service. Obviously you see buses trundling around with no one on. You just never know who's going to be waiting at the next stop, do you? Yeah, this has certainly made this route that I would normally class as, not say a boring route, but a quiet route. It's certainly made it feel better. Am I going to Stockport? I'm not going to Stockport because no one knows where Stockport is. It's a myth. I've been to the train station at Stockport in a car. We didn't get the announcement saying we'll shortly be arriving at London Road. Are we going to get passengers? Yes, we are.
This train is the Southern service to Seaford, calling at Molescombe, Falmouth, Lewes, New Haven Town, New Haven Harbour, Bishopston, and Seaford. The next station is Molescombe.
We have passengers. The next station is Molescombe. And Molescombe is next. So I'm guessing this variant would also appear on some other routes as well then.
Welcome aboard the Southern service to Seaford, calling at Molescombe, Falmouth, Lewes, New Haven Town, New Haven Harbour, Bishopston, and Seaford.
So I wonder if the
The next station is Molescombe.
I wonder if the 171 will now appear in other layers, and whether the 377/3 will appear elsewhere. It's always an interesting thing when you get new things. That, is that going to appear anywhere else now? Are you going to see this somewhere else? So what are they? They're southern, aren't they? I don't know what other routes it would be on. It'd only be London to Brighton, I suppose. But the 171s wouldn't run up to London. They must run somewhere else.
We are now approaching Molescombe.
Charing Cross. You haven't got Charing Cross in this. I suppose, yeah, they could keep the variant, couldn't they? Just reskin them. See, I quite like, I said this when we had stuff come out for, say, the Birmingham Cross City, where it's just a train. I actually quite like the fact that we're just getting DLCs with trains, because it adds an extra dimension, an extra layer to existing routes. Yeah, but this is the 377/3, so the 3-car variant. So I'm wondering if this appears anywhere else.
New Haven Harbour, Bishopston, and Seaford. The next station is Falmouth.
That wouldn't be Southern going to Watford Junction. I suppose you have reskins and stuff. Right, Farmer, 1.7 miles. The Uckfield to London Bridge goes through East Croydon. Ah, there you go.
Welcome aboard the Southern service to Seaford, calling at Falmouth, Lewes, New Haven Town, New Haven Harbour, Bishopston, and Seaford. The next station is Falmouth.
So we could see these around East Croydon then. But if we see Nico run. Or does this mean that, you know, there's going to be more southern routes coming? Is that why they've done it? Some, you know, I'm not dissing the DLC. I quite like the 171. What I'm thinking is, like, have they done this for another reason? Is there another southern route coming? You know, they've remastered this. Why? Because they haven't touched London to Brighton. So they've remastered this. Does that mean we're going to get maybe the spur off to Hastings? So are we going to get something that comes into Eastbourne from the other way? Is that coming? So they've put this in. They put the 171 in. So are we going to get Ashford to Eastbourne? Because that ties in with the South Eastern High Speed. Wouldn't that be interesting? I would be, actually, because you could then come out of London, go down to south to Ashford, come across to Eastbourne, do Eastbourne to Brighton, Brighton back to London.
We are now approaching Falmouth.
Oh yeah, there is. There's another route coming down that way, isn't there? What's the line that's coming? It's got some funny name. There is a route that's coming that's down that way. Downs thing, Medway Valley, that's the one. It's got a name. See? Sounds Welsh, doesn't it? Medway Valley I live in, I do. They keep a welcome in the hillside. So where does that link? Does that link anywhere along here? Is that southern? What goes on there? Is it 171? Is it 377? We need to know. Find out.
Seaford, calling at
Not that sort of alley.
Newhaven Town, Newhaven Harbour,
A train.
Bishopston,
Don't.
and Seaford.
Don't.
The next station is Lewis.
You're supposed to be a Dovetail ambassador. Shh. Shut up, or they'll find out. There's only a handful of us that actually put out content, so, you know, that said something. Bushy tail one and all that. Anyway, right, making our way. So that'd be interesting if the Medway Valley line then includes the 171 and the 377/3. That's why. Right, Lewis, 4.4 miles. He was the sidekick, you know, to the Morse guy. Don't look now, we've got a Dovetail logo up. Yeah, you can just about see it. That is actually quite... It's quite hidden, isn't it?
Seaford, calling at Lewis, Newhaven Town, Newhaven Harbour, Bishopston, and Seaford.
Perhaps I should make it a bit more prominent. It's there, it's fine. Right, Lewis is next, 4.2 miles. That's a tunnel. Midway goes from Gravesend to Tonbridge. Prominent being front and centre. I could. It'd get in the way a little bit if I did. Can I drag it? There you go. How's that? Is that better? That's what he said. There you go. We'll put it back. Eastbourne to Ashford would be good. The Medway Valley line, Strood to Paddock Wood, does not have a direct through service to Brighton. It links with the wider Kent network at Strood and Paddock Wood, requiring changes, typically at Tonbridge, Red Hill or London. To travel to Brighton, it is a local commuter line mainly servicing the Medway area. Okay, good to know. See? Just how... That just... See? The Medway Valley line, Strood to Paddock Wood, does not have a direct through service to Brighton. It links with the wider Kent network at Strood and Paddock Wood, requiring changes, typically at Tonbridge, Red Hill or London. To travel to Brighton, it is a local commuter line, mainly servicing the Medway area. I've also serviced the Medway area, but we can't talk about that. Your wish is my command. I am here to serve. Now in Urdu. Oh, don't. I can do it in Indian accent, but which I can because I've got Indian heritage, but I'd offend a lot of people. Right, anyway. Just do it. I think Tony should make a comeback. There's a lot of things that I haven't done this year that I said I was going to do. Story time needs to return. I think Tony needs to make a comeback. Being honest, I've been, I'll say fed up is the wrong word, but yeah, I've been a little bit down the last probably couple of months. But I need to rebound. So yes, I think we need to see more of Tony. Right. We are half a mile from Lewis. I think the nicer weather's having a nice effect. It's really nice to be coming home in the light.
We are now approaching Lewis.
We're approaching Lewis very carefully. We don't want to scare him. He scares easily. Scare him too much, his arms fall off. Oh, it does, yeah. I think as much as I like being in the house doing not a lot, the last couple of weekends, the last few times I've been sat in the house, I've felt crap, which hasn't helped. I say also, the awesome weekend away a few weeks ago has made me realise how being at home here on my own isn't fun. Buy him a drink at least. They take a lot of alcohol. You have to buy Tony a case of Lambrini just to get him warmed up. You know, he's a classy girl, is Tony.
Holyman, New Haven Town, New Haven Harbour, Bishopston, and Seaford. The next station is New Haven Town.
It is. So we'll get to Seaford and then see if there's something we can take back to Brighton. Probably won't be much from Seaford. Depends what time we get there as well. Wait until 8:30? That's a long time. Yeah, I just, yeah. You've got hair, you've got a ponytail, you're an idiot. You are what the hell are you wearing? I know you like Tony, Michael. What on... no. Just no. Okay, anyway, I guess we're waiting for a connecting train coming from somewhere, which is why we're held here for a few minutes. It's been a while since I've been held for a few minutes. So the 8:36 to Victoria comes in that way. See, hang on. See what? Hang on a minute. I'm confused. So the what? It's going to take you a while. Bear with me. So the London to Brighton goes from, well, London to Brighton. But there's also one that comes here. I'm confused as to why there's a Victoria service at Lewes. So where does it call at? No. Cock what? Cock what? Sorry, excuse me. Cox. I want to go there. Oh, Cook. Cooksbridge, Plumpton, Wivelsfield. Oh, I see. So it cuts out the corner and joins at Wivelsfield. Oh. God, so now, see, this is where we need an extension now to London to Brighton to come here. That would be cool, wouldn't it? To be able to bring a London to Brighton train down to Lewes as well as taking it to Brighton. Well, there you go. A thing has been learned. Is this my train? Which way am I going? Hang on, I've got to check. Seaford, that one. Hang on a minute. Have I? No, it's the other way, isn't it? Forget that. It's fine. Yeah, I knew. I was testing you. I know. I was confused for a second. It took me a while because I thought, hang on, that train's going to Brighton. We've just come from there. It's fine. And I left the door open. Look, it's okay. It's fine. Direct Southern Rail search from Victoria to Lewes. To take over an hour. Wales 56 miles from Clapham Junction, East Croydon, off from Burgess Hill or Haywards Heath before reaching Lewes. Ah. So it wouldn't take much then. So where are we? Are you Brighton? Yeah. So that must be, so that's must be the spur then that comes round and joins in up here somewhere, up there, you know, somewhere up here to Wivelsfield. Okay. I'm always being bullied, underappreciated, underloved. Right, doors are locking. Right, New Haven town in 5 miles.
New Haven Town, New Haven Harbour, Bishopston, and Seaford. The next station is New Haven Town. That's a neutral section. There we go. We powered down briefly. Right, go. I can almost see now doing more on this one route.
because of the layering aspects, you got so many trips you can do up and down this one little route now. I actually get the whole ticking off scenarios, ticking off timetabled runs. I can see why people in the past have just spent time just going, a bit like, you know, people do in OMSI, Trent, although he just does the same timetable routes, that would do every service, so do a full shift. You can always see with this that it'd be quite interesting, not necessarily do it in one day, but to start with the out of the depot run, and then over a period of time do all the ones throughout the course of the day, and then finish up with the end depot run. Like, if I had the capacity and the time, I could certainly see the benefit of just sitting in this and just trundling up and down whilst watching something else on another screen or on a TV, etc. Because although you've got to pay attention, you're not really, you haven't got your hand on the controls all the time. I always used to vow that if I had to do one sim and one sim only a few years ago, it would have been Train Sim Classic. I think now it'd be this. If I only had to stream one thing, it would be this. Although I do like the variety that I do. I know some of the streams not everyone likes. Well, one of those things, bit of a status thing, Connor, and to be honest, they're not that bad around town. 6 3/4 litre V8. That I'll probably do on a run, probably 20 to the gallon. Where's my hand? I've got one digit on my throttles, and the other hand's resting on my little knob. My G27 gear shift, it normally leans on, because the mouse is next to that. That's why I should bring the webcam back, shouldn't I? Jelly baby cam, which is on the floor behind me. Knob cam. Oh, you could never remember it. Like in most games. In this, there are so many buttons you can map, and like things like OMSI, there's so many things you can map to a button, and even Farm Sim. You're never going to use them all. To be honest, in MSFS, a lot of the stuff you wouldn't necessarily need to map a button to. Yeah, you don't need to map all the buttons. You just need the basics. It's like this. What I've got mapped in this is internal view, external view. So this, that. I've got on my Farm Sim panel, I've got buttons. If you've got a Farm Sim panel, the two blue buttons on the right hand side are doors, left door, right door. Button below that is electrics on, so key in basically. And then it's all I've got then is on my G27, which is on my right hand side, the black buttons at the top. I've got the up and down of those is the reverser. The left and right is the horn. And everything else is just set to the two levers on my flight throttles. Left hand one is throttle and combined brake. Right hand one is brake. That's it. That's all the controls I've got mapped. That's all you need in this. Yet there are loads more that you can map. OMSI, I don't have many buttons set. ETS2, don't have that many set. Farming, there's not that many set. Yet there's loads you can control. Right, we're 1.5 miles from New Haven. Yeah, we've had discussions recently about wheels and things. I said my G27 is now 10 years old and it's still absolutely fine. I don't know what I do now. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing this. I don't know if I would spend out on £1,000 wheel. As nice as it would be, I think what I would probably do if the G27 died, I would probably get a 920 or something. Yeah, the Moser ones. There's the Horry ones as well, but the Mosers are good because you can get the indicator stalks, you can get a separate gear shifter. It's about £1,000 to get all of it. Which again, yeah, if I was doing this more, or you know,
We are now approaching New Haven Town.
if I did this more than I do, don't forget, you know, the only gaming I do is the gaming you see. I don't spend time in front of the PC when I'm not streaming or recording for YouTube. So I don't do any other gaming. So I couldn't almost justify spending that much money on a wheel that I probably use 2 hours a week. Yeah, Ed had a Fanatec wheel.
We are now approaching New Haven Town.
And my G27's been brilliant. That was what, 350 quid 10 years ago? So that's well paid for itself. Right, we're now arriving at New Haven Town.
Seaford, calling at New Haven Harbour, Bishopston, and Seaford.
I don't know if
Next station is New Haven Harbour.
I don't know if we'll get time to do anything else after this. At least we've got to do Brighton to Eastbourne to Brighton to Seaford. So we've done the bits that are important. Maybe we'll have to do some more of this next week. Unless we get something else released by then. Who knows?
Welcome aboard the Southern service to Seaford, calling at New Haven Harbour, Bishopston, and Seaford. The next station is New Haven Harbour.
I found a new guy on YouTube last night who's only got 3,000 subscribers, and he made his own Scrabble set. And there was some bits of humour. I like woodworking and stuff like that. There was bits of humour in his video as well, and he put a lot of effort into the editing and the production of a video to only have 3,000 subscribers. I might actually post his video in the Discord. I know no one pays attention, but it was really awesome to see someone put that amount of effort in that's obviously just starting out in the YouTube world.
This is New Haven Harbour.
Yeah, Connor, you know, if I was doing this more, like if I did more gaming, and if I redid my setup, yes, I would have a Moser. Okay, they're falling off the. That can't be safe. I would have a Moser wheel and have it set up. To be honest, I'd probably, looking at my setup now, I'd probably lose the flight stuff. I'd probably get rid of my joystick. I'd probably get rid of the flight throttles, although they're not in the way, and would probably then go for a better wheel setup. But then I'd make sure that my keyboard was accessible, which it currently isn't And yes, we'd do things slightly differently. They are falling onto tracks. We'll ignore that. So the ferry is in at New Haven. Don't they go New Haven to Dieppe? Is that a ferry? Goes New Haven to Dieppe? Never done that route. Yeah, never done that. I think I've done most of the crossings to France, certainly from the UK. I've done Boulogne, I've done Cherbourg, I've done Roscoff, I've done Calais. I've never done Dieppe. That might be one. I even did the Sally line when they were going from Ramsgate to Dunkirk. And was it Townsend Torresen? I'm sure I was on those going into Zeebrugge. There's pictures of me in the house somewhere in photo albums on ferries when I was younger. I was always on ferries. Always going across to France or Jersey or Guernsey. Yeah, never done New Haven to Dieppe. So either going to be quite a cheap crossing, or it's going to be an expensive crossing. I wonder if you can do that combined with a train ticket. A bit like you can get from Harwich. That's Harry Ramsden's, Connor. Remember, I've seen a picture of you when you was a kid. Yeah. Lots of pictures of me when I was a kid. I was a cute baby. I was a cute child. Up until I reached probably 15. And then it all went rapidly downhill.
We are now approaching Bishopston.
Oh, that's when it started going downhill. I wish it was, Michael. I just looked like me, just with blonde hair, when I was a young kid. Well, you've seen a picture of me in the Discord today, outside Swindon Station. That's not too far off. Actually, maybe want to do my hair like that. Occasionally, if I don't have my hair cut, I will spike it at the front. So it is pretty much like that. Doors locking. Is it a year or so? It must be 18 months or so. We did a stream, and then after one of the streams, we stayed in voice for a couple of hours,
The next station is Seaford.
and we ended up just sharing screens and sharing pictures with each other of like when we were kids and stuff. It was awesome. It was a really nice like after stream chat. We used to do that a lot years ago. I've said this before, you know, we'd finish the trucking stream and still be in voice at like 2 a.m. just chatting and playing music and sharing pictures, and it was awesome. It was really cool.
We are now approaching Seaford.
No, we don't, because everyone's miserable. Ferry costs 245 quid for return. I was a foot passenger. Seems expensive. No, it is me. It does a sodding off thing. Includes a car. Or you get a free car. I wouldn't want to take the car. Well, that's mainly now because people got used to me streaming till like 20 past 8. You got to take one. Well, I don't want to take one. And then realising that people just want to go off and do their own thing at 8:30. During the week, yes, I do like to come off, so like an hour or so before I go to bed. But the weekends, there's nothing stopping me, really. Right, we've arrived at Seaford. So when I start a new community and they're full of friendlier people, I'll start doing that. Right. Let's have a look, see if there's anything we can do quickly. Brussels, Amy Lou. I can't recommend it strongly enough. Easy on the Eurostar. It's a really nice place to wander around. Lots to see. Day trip. Or weekend. Fairly cheap as well. We are friendly. No, you're not. You're all idiots. Right. Sorry, Amy Lou's posting about doing a trip. Shall we? Why not? What can possibly go wrong? We're back in Lewis again. It's an easy city to negotiate. I can definitely recommend a cheap hotel that's really good at the end of the tram. Actually, end of the train line. Thanks to Nico, we now know that you can get the train rather than the tram straight from Garda Midi, and it's a 5-minute walk to the hotel. The Ibis budget, and you know you get a 39 quid Eurostar ticket. It's really good. Right, so a bit of Flying Scotsman action. This is going to be interesting on my... So, train brake. Set to running. That's throttle, so I've got to use a reverser now. Okay, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't normally do steam. So where are we going? New Haven Harbour. Son, you can build this as a part works subscription. What? Has Nico been at the Alco Pops again? Yeah, yeah. You can build a Flying Scotsman as a model. Just go and buy it as a model. Why would you want to? Don't tell me one of those over 53. The coming next 53 weeks. Yeah. Okay. Hang on, is my cock open? Okay, it's open. Yeah, I know I'm steaming. Right, brakes are... I'll wait for the Oh, God, hang on. Okay, yeah, the brakes are on.
Oh, yeah.
We're moving. Julius, thanks for the follow. And hi. It's fine, we're moving. I got to find where my... How am I stressed now? I'll try and find where my cock thing is. Hang on, there. No. That can't be my cock thing. Turn on AWS, not a hope in hell. Blower's closed. Play with her knee? No. I know there's a little thing around here. I've got to play with my little cock. Well, sod it. We're going anyway. You worked out how to stop it. Well, look, we're not worried about that at the moment. I'm trying to find at the side like a handbrake lever. So over there. That's a reverser. Unless it's over her side. There. She had it. She was bloody hiding it down by her knee. Oh, look at that, we're motoring now. See, professional. Right, 4 point. Oh, there's definitely a variety of stuff you can do on this route now. How are we going to stop that? Look, with that's not a problem for me now. That's a problem for me in about 3.5 miles. It's not a problem for current Stevie. That's a problem for future Stevie. I'm sure he's got perfectly good brakes. You can see why they haven't done much more steam, because steam for dovetail was not the best move. I think they realised that no one actually wants steam. Good thing really, because I'd have to do more of it. Obviously I can do it, being the professional that I am. The only thing you got to think about with steam is the reverser. The reverser isn't just an engage and leave. You've got to use you've got to balance the reverser and the throttle, and also make sure your cock's shut when you're moving. When you're stationary, your cock needs to be open. Once you started moving, you close your cock. So I'm creating a lot of pressure because the blow-off valve's blowing off. Right, we'll see if we can make it to New Haven Harbour. If we can stop at New Haven Harbour, then my work is done. That just proves that I am just amazing. Which we already knew anyway. Just call him Casey Jones. It is a Flying Scotsman. What the hell is that thing? That's a building. It's like a bloody airship hangar. Oh god, there's a red down here as well. See? Ye of little faith in me. Right, what we'll do now... The other drive must have had control. I think Steam is definitely all about just getting used to that control. I think I didn't release the brakes, and then it's remembering to close your cocks and stuff. But yeah, you know what? That has made that route really interesting for me now. It almost makes me want to do more, but there's more to do in it with the layering. There's other services, we didn't even go anywhere near the IET services that there are to do in this. There's more rail tours to do. So there's so much stuff that you can do on the East Coastway if you've got all the layering installed. I said there was the 375 we did, you got 700 stuff. You've got this 395 Brighton to Eastbourne that you can do. Okay, that's only one service, but then you've got stuff in the 45s, which is a light engine, but okay. 47 stuff, it's just the engine on its own. Okay, that's just the engine on its own. Okay, what about 66? Anything with 66? Yes, there is. Railhead treatment train. Ooh, from Eastbourne to Lewis. Empty freight trains. Railhead treatment train from Seaford to Brighton. I'm always intrigued to see what that looks like. I'm not going to drive it. That's coming as well soon. That should be April. I don't know. How can I get out of here? Okay, that's got some things on it. Oh, that's not what I was expecting. I guess that's just cleaning the tracks. Oh, is that the sort of thing they use to get the leaves off the line? Is that what that is? Okay, let's wait for this to depart then, and then we'll end. Well, that's quiet. That just shows that how much power you get from a 66. It literally just ticks over. And off it goes. Yeah, so definitely more to do on the East Coastway. And I definitely need to look at some more of the scenarios, I think, from some of the other routes. So next week, I don't know what we're doing next Tuesday. If Dovetail suddenly springs something on us that's new, then it will be that next Tuesday. If not, I think I might go back and do some routes that maybe we haven't done in a while, and maybe do some scenarios on those routes, because we've got plenty to choose from. Yeah, maybe something we haven't done for a little while. But yes, quite a lot. Maybe the Isle of Wight. Yeah, I haven't done the scenarios on the Isle of Wight. Look, blow me away. Okay, that could be a good one. So yes, there we go. Some more trains back next Tuesday. This little cheeky chappy in the corner here we'll hopefully be seeing in the next couple of months on the island of Sodor. Definitely looking forward to that one. So there we go. Tomorrow night back with some boats, doing some ships at sea, bobbing about in the water. Friday night we've got some trucking and tunes. You choose the music, songs or artists starting with letter N for November. Saturday night I'll be here with something, don't know what yet, but will certainly be something. And then Sunday lunchtime we're back on the farm, back in FS19, carrying on doing some farming, where Dorset's making us spend money on bigger cedars. So we'll see how they pan out on Sunday. And then more stuff back next week. So there we go. Thanks very much to you lot in chat then for keeping me company for the last 2.5 hours nearly. And to these people as well that did things. Thanks to Julius for following. And that's it. Okay, I'm not thanking the moderators because they're all useless. I should replace them all. Oh yes, and Tony for making an appearance this evening. And whatever Welsh Tony's called, it's Tony. It's the Tony. It is with an I, a bit like the other Tony, but mine's with an I and not with an I. Okay, there we go. Maybe we'll see more of Tony on a boat tomorrow. We will see. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. I will post a link to the Scrabbly person in the Discord if you want to see some interesting woodworking going on shortly. And I'm going to stop talking now. Until tomorrow. Bye.